everybody, I'm Delicia. Thanks for stopping by the Cigar Vixen channel. Today I'm going to be doing an informal cigar pairing, I guess you could say, just because it's something that I enjoy and I wanted to share with the rest of you. So I'm going to be lighting up this Charter Oak, which I have featured on my weekly top 5 a few times now. So hopefully you guys have had a chance to pick one up for yourself and try it out. If not, there's no time like the present. So I brought both of them out to show you that it comes in 2 different wrappers. There's a Connecticut broadleaf, which I'll be smoking today, and a good old-fashioned regular Connecticut shade grown wrapper as well. So this cigar is by Foundation Cigars, so Nick Melillo, and he's paying tribute basically to his grandfather and also to his hometown where he was born and raised of Connecticut. So really cool. And of course, it's featuring that wrapper, which I mentioned, but inside of it, it's featuring all Nicaraguan tobacco because, of course, everybody who knows Nick knows he loves Nicaragua. So it's kind of like a dual home for him, I guess you could say. So really cool idea with the cigars. And what I really love about both of these cigars is that they're value sticks. So definitely box worthy, stock up on them because they're a great price and they have a very good taste. So as I mentioned, I'm going to go ahead and light up this, the darker of the two, the broadleaf, because it's more of my palate. The lighter Connecticut is nice as well, but again, just in the mood for the broadleaf today. And I'm going to be pairing it with this really nice coffee. This is actually, I just did a little French press so I could bring it down here, but this is the Café Las Flores. So it's just sitting here. I just pressed it, and I'm going to go ahead and serve it momentarily. And I'll get into a little bit about the flavors. As I mentioned, it's a very informal pairing. I'm not doing like the whole, sip it with a spoon and spit out the coffee, that kind of thing. I'm just going to go ahead and drink it with my cigar. But I wanted to go ahead and get this little baby lit up. I like this cigar too because it has a nice little closed foot, so it's always easy to light these up. Very little effort to get a nice even, burn going. I've been smoking quite a few of these. They're just a really easy smoke. And again, that initial light up, you're getting that very welcoming, very nice introduction to the tobacco. It's really, really, toasty. It has that nuttiness to it. Really beautiful profile. And then as you get into the cigar, of course, it has some different transitions, which we'll go over. But again, that initial puff is just delicious. To me, the Connecticut broadleaf has kind of like without it sounding bad, it has kind of a dirty, but in a good way. Like it just has like a rustic, earthy undertone to it, but it's pleasant. It's not like a bad, tastes like dirt type of a thing. That's always like a weird way to describe a cigar, but it's a very pleasant, just earthy, kind of bold. It has a richness to it. There's a nuttiness in the background. This one also has a little bit of a pepper. Not a lot right now, but as it gets into it, it's going to get a little bit more of a pepper to it. But just really nice initial welcome with the cigar. And of course, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pour my coffee and get into that when I return with the second third. So joining you for the second third on the Charter Oak, this is the Connecticut broadleaf wrapper. The flavors of the cigar now have increased with a little bit of that sweetness and the pepper. So the sweetness is coming from kind of a raisin type of a background. There's a nice little bit of citrus element in here, kind of like an orange peel, very minimal, like you don't taste a lot of it. It's not super strong, but you can get a feel for it, as well as the black pepper. The black pepper just kind of, resonates for a little while, kind of hangs out on your palate. So it's a really nice pairing with this particular coffee. So just tell you briefly about this coffee. They grow their beans on top of a volcano, so it's really cool. I've actually had the pleasure of visiting Café Las Flores, and seeing their whole production and growing. It's really, really neat. You can definitely check out more on that on an episode on Amazon, which I have featured Café Las Flores, so quick plug there. But the coffee itself, they do have quite a few different roasts. This particular one is like their original, probably the more popular, I guess you could say. It's I make it a little bit strong. It's a really it's a darker. Actually, I'm sorry. It's a medium roast, but it has a really rich flavor to it. So it pairs very well with the cigar, as I mentioned, because it has very nice sweet citrus notes to it, as well as a nice underlying kind of a chocolate, like a dark chocolate. So as the cigar develops, it kind of, they start to go hand in hand and they really complement each other well. Yeah, just those nice notes of the citrus pull even more citrus from the cigar. And then you actually pick up some of the dusted, you know, cocoa powder that the cigar has to offer. They really do go hand in hand. So highly recommend it if you get a chance to try out any of the coffee. I believe you can order online. Don't quote me. I think if you check out Café Las Flores website, you could find out at least where you could find their coffee. Of course, if you visit Nicaragua, which I highly recommend, there's Café Las Flores like all over the place. They're kind of like Starbucks over there. So you can get, you know, your hands on some freshly roasted coffee, and definitely recommend it that you bring it back to, of course, pair with your great cigars. So anyways, gonna go ahead and smoke this down a little bit more and check back in with you one last time for some final tasting notes. So coming back now for the final third and the last little bit of my second cup of coffee here. So as you can tell, I'm a coffee nut. Quick question too for those of you watching. I'm curious if my theory is true, which is that the majority of cigar smokers are also coffee drinkers. Is there anyone out there watching that prefers to drink tea or doesn't drink coffee? Just kind of curious for, you know, the sake of knowing. But anyways, back to the original pairing here. So the cigar itself has gotten really nice. It's gotten very creamy. There's been a great introduction of some chocolate. Again, there was a little bit of that chocolate that you could get in the second, third, but I feel like it was brought out a little bit more with the coffee because the coffee also has a nice chocolate kind of, not flavored, but just a little bit of that dusted cocoa. You could get the notes of it in the coffee. One thing I forgot to mention about this coffee, it's extremely, extremely smooth. So there's no trace of any bitter, any of that sour kind of thing that you can get from certain types of coffees. This one is extremely balanced and very smooth, so very easy to drink multiple cups of it. So with the cigar, again, the pairing was just beautiful because it brought out really the nice citrus notes and the chocolate notes, which sounds like it'd be kind of a weird combination, but it just works very well. And again, kudos to the construction of this cigar. The ash I just lost before I turned the camera on, but I haven't had to touch this thing up at all. And that's something that every time that I smoke it, I notice that. I've actually can set this down for, I don't know, 5-6 minutes and it's still going, which is great. I love when that happens because I hate having to relight my cigars. So this one, you run into zero problems with that. It just stays nice and lit. It doesn't get overheated. And I also forgot to mention that I'm smoking the Lonsdale, which is the size that I prefer in this particular cigar. It enhances it really well. It's just a great example. Again, it doesn't taste like a value cigar. It tastes like just, you know, a $10, $12 stick. It just doesn't have that, you know, some cigars that are a little bit lower priced, they kind of have that taste to them, and this one does not. It's really, really nice. Construction's great, flavor spot on, and again, it's a perfect combination with a nice cup of coffee. So anyways, hopefully you guys have had the chance to try it out. If not, get out there to your local brick and mortar and support and get yourself a couple boxes of these things. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers. Some people try things for the first time and love it from the start. After my first cigar, I loved it so much, it became my life. From the Partagas factory in Cuba to the Davidoff fields in the Dominican, I've been to cigar lounges and events in all 4 corners of North America and in between. I've even hiked to the top of a volcano and smoked a cigar in Nicaragua. Along the way, I've made some new friends. Now, all this cigar smoking has gotten some attention. Join me as I pursue my passion. Experience this exclusive world very few will ever see. My name is Delicia, and I'm the Cigar Vixen.